Hey there. In this clip, we're going to have a look at three different ways that you can gather the results of a survey, or it's what statisticians call sampling techniques. These are techniques that you could use in your own classroom if you had to do a survey for a project. But let's have a look at an example problem first. There are 24 students in your class, and you wish to interview a random sample of 6 of them. Describe 3 practical ways you could select a random sample of this population. And by population, they mean all the students in the class, and sample is just the 6 that you're going to grab from that class to ask them some survey questions. All right, so let me introduce you to your class. All right, here's your class, 24 students in total, and you want to ask 6 of them some questions. Well, how do you go about doing that? Let's start with the first way, the simplest way, which is just called the simple random sampling technique. This first method is, well, it's just what it sounds like. I just go into the classroom and without any real thought, I just grab 6 people at random. I could just roll the dice if I wanted to, or just put on a blindfold and just grab or point to 6 different people until I have my sample, which is 6 people. The advantage to this technique is that, well, it's really simple. Obviously, it's got simple right in the name. I just grab 6 people quickly. The disadvantage is, though, you're not necessarily going to get a true makeup of the classroom. You could see I've only selected 1 girl at random this way. So you have to be careful when you use the simple technique. Let's move on to the second technique. This one's called the systematic random sample. And it's a little more organized because what I do is I break the class off into intervals. Now let me show you how I calculate my interval. I take the total number of people in the population, in this case the entire class, which is 24, and then I divide it by how many people I want in the sample, which is 6. So my interval is 4. And what this means is I select every 4th person in the rows. Now I just have to figure out a place to start randomly. So I could just roll a dice, and let's say it comes up at 2. That means I'm going to start right here and count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I choose this person first. So she will be interviewed. Now I count 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I keep doing that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here I'm going to go back to the start of the class because I've run out of people. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I've got my 6 people selected. And you can see this way I got a little bit of a more accurate representation of the population. I've got 3 girls and 3 boys in this sample. Okay, let's see the last technique. This last technique is called stratified random sample. Stratified because I divide my population into what are called stratums. Now this could be categories. For in this case, I could have males and females. So let's divide the class up into male and female. All right, well now that I've got the class divided into what are called stratums, in this case the categories are male and female, I can see that there's more males in the class than females. In fact, there's 15 males in the class versus 9 females in the class. When I select my students at random, I want my sample to be representative of the population, the entire class. And since there are more males in the class than females, my finished sample should have more males. So I'm going to take 1/3 of the males in the class. So I'm randomly choosing 5 males because 5 is 1/3 of 15. And I'll do the same for the females. I'll randomly choose 3 females because 3 is 1/3 of 9. And there I can see my finished sample is a little more representative of the way the class actually looks, having more males than females. And there we have it, 3 different ways to take random samples from a population: simple, systematic, and stratified.